Hello, it's Thursday night. I am your Clout Missioner, Captain Tyrion Guidal. Welcome to All Influencer Wrestling.
The following is a triple threat match. Making his way to the ring from parts unknown, weighing in at 219 pounds, DC.
He is the producer to the stars, looking to produce a victory for himself out here tonight. Can DC make his way into the Drama Bomb ladder match? Last time he was in a ring, he successfully managed to see off the golden ticket, who has already qualified for that match. Will these two meet once again, or will it be one of DC's two opponents here in the ring tonight? Every single match on our card tonight is a qualifying match. By the end of tonight's show, we will know the entire field for those two Drama Bomb ladder matches.
I hate being open, I hate being broken. I feel like an ocean filled up with emotion. Anger in a potion, rub it on like lotion. I can feel it so.
And his opponents, first, from parts unknown, weighing in at 444 pounds, Brock the Gardener.
If you are looking to farm clout, you could do a lot worse than a gardener. 400 pounds of muscle slab. Our gardener, badger man, gifter barbarian agreed to keep himself in his humanoid form for the wrestling ring. Otherwise it might fall through.
Activating combat mode.
And from New Mexico, weighing in at 206 pounds, beautiful Bob.
Trying to play a little bit of mind games here by switching out for Cinneas' music, it seems. But one half of the deadly doo-woo, beautiful Bob. Bob's tag team partner Hank in action later on tonight as well. Split between matches so as not to give them an unfair advantage. Not the only tag teams in competition tonight, however. DC immediately going after Brock, trying to take the larger man out of the equation. Brock and Bob just spinning around and around DC like some pole work there. Brock having none of it, just locking Bob into that hold to shut down that immediately. And DC dropping Brock right in that chest like hitting a brick wall. And boots from Bob right into the hatted head of the producer to the stars. As we know though, held on by hatomantic magic, DC's hat is going nowhere. Out of the ring goes Bob, Brock baiting DC to the outside, grabbing the steel steps, trying to go for those. And DC realizing what Brock is up to. Meanwhile, Bob has pulled a kendo stick out from under the ring. DC trying to go for a suplex there, I believe, but simply not able to outpower the muscle-bound Badger. And Bob trying to do the same thing, getting into a contest of strength with Brock is a very, very bad idea. And now a bit of a team up momentarily. DC helping out Up and down goes Bob. You see this occasionally in these types of matches. Alliances formed, alliances just as easily broken as DC tried to capitalize, and Brock just smacking him down to the floor. Into the ship's barricade. Meanwhile, Bob, realizing those steel steps have been discarded. What does he have in mind? Thought better of it as he saw a giant charging barbarian heading towards him. Up and over he goes. Hook arm suplex from Brock there. Of course, later on tonight we have further tag team action in play. Avric and Ashapal are both attempting to make their ways into the Drama Bomb ladder matches separately. Avric actually in competition against Hank, Bob's partner. Only a one, the producer to the stars, DC Lasair, not staying down. And in a follow-on from their match last week, we do have tag team action. Her Royal Highness the Ginger Flame, she who sings on the graves of her enemies, and Candy Holiday will be once again taking on the team of Presrie D and Valaran Amastacia in a tornado tag match. The winning team will both advance to the Drama Bomb ladder match. What does Bob have in mind here? Pulling the arm from DC. Brock seemingly confused as to what was going on there and is going with a big clubbing blow. DC able to wriggle out of Brock's grasp. Technical wrestling maneuvering by DC while Bob just poses on the outside. Not the smartest move. Brock down, only has the one count, however. And Bob once again grabbing those ring steps. Into the ring with them. Locking in a submission maneuver on the giant man. Impressive maneuver from DC, but Bob right there to break that out. And he goes hoisting DC up over the shoulder and bouncing off of the top ropes. Brock rolling to the outside to get a little bit of a breather. We now just have DC and Bob going at it in the ring. Another hooked suplex there by the producer. Is he about to produce a victory for himself? Bob fighting back, elbow to the face, gave Brock time to recover and just chopping down DC. Tried to go for the pinfall right in front of Bob, easily there to break that up. Bob trying to chop down the tree that is Brock and then backing off as that did not work. Head scissors takedown though, using the low center of gravity of Brock against him. Wonderful maneuvering there, but still not enough. Brock able to kick out. DC now back into it. Is this the opportunity? DC taking a moment to play to the crowd, normally behind the camera, seemingly really enjoying his time in front of it. That may have been the best opportunity he would have had. Instead, decided to go outside and grab that kendo stick. Waiting perhaps for Bob to get more damage inflicted upon him by Brock, and there he goes, over the head of Brock. Not having it though. High constitution from our barbarian gardener. What does Brock now have in mind? Making his way out to the outside, going for the other set of ring steps. And Bob, meanwhile, fishing out another kendo stick. Smart maneuvering there by the Deadly Doo-Woo member. Brock unable to see past those ring steps. Great opportunity for the kendo stick. And up, hoisted up and down onto that wooden decking of the ship. Bob has the kendo stick back in, cracking it over the back of Brock, who cannot reach with the prone body of DC in the way. But there is DC hurling Bob into those discarded pile of steel ring steps now. Backbreaker there, and Bob and DC now rocking up, and once again, that pile of ring steps blocking entrance back into the ring. Somewhat ironically, both men down, DC the only one standing. What does he have in mind? But there's Bob bringing right back up. Continuing to work over the legs of Brock is DC Lasair. As Bob makes his way safely around the other side of the ring. Brock now with those steel steps. What does he have in mind? Making his way around. DC with the pin, just barely able to kick out. Brock not able to make it in time. Bob saving the match. Oh, there, Brock now with the kendo stick. That is going to hurt. That's going to leave some welts on Lasair. Down he goes, and Brock just waiting, not able to swing in time. The speed of Bob saving him from a kendo stick blow himself. Bob unable to capitalize, getting those swift kicks in. Brock down on the outside. Potentially a grand opportunity for the Deadly Doo-Woo member. Does he have DC down? Can he put him away? Is Brock going to make it up in time? I don't think he is, but DC able to power out at 2. Brock now back in. Can he capitalize on the work done by Bob? Thinks better of it. Going back, more weaponry is needed. Now we've got a baseball bat. You thought the kendo stick was bad. DC realizing the danger he was in. Brock, though, able to nimbly dodge the way of that last kick, and he's got DC in a bear hug. Or a badger hug, if you will, I suppose. Bob making his way into the ring wants no part of that. DC desperately trying to... Oh, and that's what Bob went for, that kendo stick. Cracking it over the skull of DC. Bob hoisted up into the air by Brock and dropped down onto the knee. And DC able to turn Brock's own momentum against him, cracking him down. Opportunity for the producer to the stars. Can he capitalize? Brock taken out on the outside. He's already back to his feet. Unfortunately, not landing that drop kick. And up and there over goes Bob. Can Brock make it in time? Tripped over somehow, somewhere. DC found the fortitude to kick out. Amazing. The sheer tenacity of DC Lasair. Bob wondering now what he has to do to end this match. The steel steps once again back in play. Stalking his way around, waiting to the outside of the ring, maybe thinking better of bringing those in. Going for something a little more easy to use, and it's time for the classic. The steel chair is now in play. DC realizes. What's he got? Up and down goes Bob. Almost onto that steel chair. Brock up to one knee. Caught that attempt at a chop by DC. And boot into the... knee into the face. 1, 2. Can he find it after that? That is it. He powered out against all odds, but the punishment against DC Lasair. Finally, too much to push through. Brock takes the match and will be entering into the Drama Bomb ladder match. Joining Chris Cinneas, Big Magic Reynolds, and the Golden Ticket, we have massive amounts of beef in the Drama Bomb ladder match.
Here is your winner,
The field stacking up in a very, very dominant way for the Drama Bomb ladder match. Still more to go though. We have a one-on-one contest between the Phantom and Sevius Black, and another in our main event. The returned Stephenjoys takes on Gabriel van Hessle. Beyond that, as mentioned earlier, Avric Brightmoon will be taking on Hank of the Deadly Doo-Woo. One of those two making their way into that match. But next up, we have another qualifying match, this time tag team action. We'll be right back after these short messages. Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Lumsalaminsa, and the Clout Missioner of all Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door. Restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre. Welcome back for tag team action here at All Influencer Wrestling.
The following contest is a Tornado Tag Team match. Introducing first, from parts unknown, B.
Valaran, Amastacia and Presrie D take on Candy Holiday and Her Royal Highness the Ginger Flame, she who sings on the graves of her enemies. These two teams met in the ring in a traditional tag team match last week. This time, it's under Tornado rules. All four competitors legal in the ring at all times. These two teams have proven to work very, very well with each other when it comes to switching in and out and isolating their opponents. Now, how will they coexist working together at the same time? The howl of the wolf, heralding the arrival of Presrie D.
Unknown, the Hunter.
This team together getting more and more familiar with one another. They've come so close to victory, yet to taste it themselves. Will this be their night? The first member of the opponent's team, Candy Holiday, riding her way down to the ring once again. Candy and the Ginger Flame have been dominant since they started teaming together, putting an end to the undefeated run of the Dangerous Alliance, knocking off Valaran and Presrie last week. Can they continue this streak? Candy has come very close to tasting title glory here in AIW. Can she utilize her partnership with the Ginger Flame to fight their way into the Drama Bomb ladder match for the closest she's come yet? Please put away your candy wrappers. The prima donna has arrived. Her Royal Highness, the Ginger Flame, she who sings on the graves of her enemies, knows how to make an entrance. Nothing to be underestimated in the ring either. A well-rounded competitor here in All Influencer Wrestling. She has done very, very well for herself since her arrival in the company. Can she continue her streak here tonight? Still the only competitor who sings herself down to the ring. And we're off once again. Remember, tornado tag rules. There is no tagging in and out. This is a straight out 2-on-2 fight. And interestingly, Valaran and Candy are the two taking immediate control. Splitting up, we now have some Ginger versus Ginger action going on as Candy ties Valaran up in the ropes, hoying her out through. And what does Candy have in mind here? Diving through, boot to the face of Valaran, whilst the Ginger Flame has Presrie down. Ginger Flame and Candy doing a phenomenal job of separating the opponents. Candy keeping Valaran down on the outside, while Ginger Flame is working over Presrie in the middle of the ring. The thing to watch for with a competitor like Valaran is she can strike quickly and out of nowhere with a deadly sneak attack. So very, very sensible maneuvering for Candy to try and keep her busy whilst the powerhouse Ginger Flame works over Presrie. But Presrie seemingly may be able to shift momentum around. As they switch out now, Presrie now locking up with Candy, able to overpower as the Ginger Flame drops Valaran over the back of the knee. Presrie able to overpower Candy. Now we have the Ginger Flame in a very dangerous 2-on-1 situation in the ring. Candy needs to get to her feet and get back inside that ring as quickly as possible. And there she is, as the Ginger Flame rolls back out to recover for a moment. Still now a 2-on-1 situation. All that has accomplished is changing who is being targeted. The momentum of this match now completely shifted. Valaran and Presrie dominant, picking apart Candy in the middle of the ring, but Ginger Flame has recovered back in there to save her partner. Not able to do it though. Valaran and Presrie still dominant, hoisting Ginger Flame around the ring. Presrie hyping up, charges, knocks, attempted to knock Candy off. Candy able to duck back. Has Presrie down. Valaran able to make the save. And now Ginger Flame saving Candy from the back strikes there. And over the top. What an incredible athletic maneuver by Candy Holiday. Over the top ropes, taking out Presrie. Following suit is the Ginger Flame, but Valaran had that one scouted. Face first onto the side goes the Ginger Flame. And following through, heads as his takedown by Valaran. Presrie, meanwhile, hoisting the Candy Holiday back over to her feet, back into the ring. Taking a moment to take stock. Seemingly decides that Valaran needs some support with the Ginger Flame. Locking up, but Candy recovered. Sending Valaran back into the ring, getting some breathing room for the Ginger Flame. Strike to the gut. And uppercut, down goes Presrie, but there's those swift strikes to Valaran. Ginger Flame back up, and down goes Valaran. Candy and Ginger back in. Over goes Valaran. Club to the face. And over goes Presrie, still holding on. And big clothesline from Candy Holiday. Valaran into the corner. Presrie getting worked over by Candy on the outside. These two very much back in control. Big chop in the corner there to Valaran. Can the Ginger Flame put this away? Wrenching the leg. We've seen before that 4-bar leg lock that the Ginger Flame has used to such great effect before. Weakening the legs of Valaran is only going to make that more effective. Over and down she goes. Valaran looks like she is damn near knocked out. Presrie realizing too late what is going on, but Valaran able to dig down deep, find that second wind and kick out. Meanwhile, Candy has been hoisted up the ship's ramp. Ginger Flame now once again finding herself in a dangerous situation at the hands of Presrie. Locks in armbar. Armbar from Presrie D. Candy making her way back in has realized what's happened, able to do that double leg drop kick to the back of Presrie, breaking that pressure on the Ginger Flame. Candy Holiday livid, absolutely lighting up the opponent's team. Ginger Flame back to her feet. Valaran seemingly very hurt, rolling to the outside for a moment, although was that just a feint? She is back in. Tries to take down Candy from behind. Candy having absolutely none of it. Doubling up now. Valaran, though, fighting back out. The numbers game simply too strong for her. Knees to the gut. Hoisted back up by Candy Holiday. Valaran able to counter, but the Ginger Flame is right there, swinging chops. Sends Valaran into the ropes, and another chop, but Valaran able to dodge out the way a little bit. Big swinging back elbow there. Presrie back to her feet. Lighting up Candy on the outside, but Ginger Flame has Valaran down for 1-2. Valaran still able to kick out. The Ginger Flame absolutely cannot believe that that did not end the match. Candy down on the outside. Presrie waiting for her moment to strike. And there she's found it. Giant clothesline from Presrie D. Wrenching the arm, and there it goes again, perhaps trying to weaken for another armbar attempt, but Candy now is back on her feet on the outside. The Ginger Flame not in a great way in the middle of the ring. Candy, though, taking the opportunity to dive back in. Big, giant running roundhouse from Candy. Presrie, though, on the ball, able to break up the pinfall. Ginger Flame has dropped down to the outside, meanwhile, overhead suplex by Presrie D. Ginger Flame back on her feet. Once again, neither of these teams can keep the others down for quite long enough. Armbar locked in on Candy Holiday this time. I don't think Ginger Flame has realized what's going on. She is busy tangling with Valaran. Candy, though, able to power her way out. Knees to the gut of Valaran. Presrie rolling down to the outside. And over. Had that scouted. Candy sent herself crashing down to the outside. Valaran able to counter and stabber. That sneak attack from Valaran. Has that done it? 1, 2, powers through. That sneak attack not enough to put away the Ginger Flame. Just barely. I think that took all of the energy Candy had left to dive back into the ring to try and break up that pinfall. Can they capitalize? Down they go, this adventuring duo, now isolating Candy in the middle of the ring. Ginger Flame rolling back in, back to her feet. Sends Valaran over into the ropes. And down she goes. Presrie waiting. What does Presrie have in mind? Big drop kick from Presrie. It's now one-on-one in the middle of the ring. Valaran and Candy seemingly out on the outside. It's down to just the Ginger Flame and Presrie. Presrie is down. 1, 2. Do we have it? No. Presrie kicks out the Ginger Flame again. Cannot believe what she has to do. Basking in the glory of the crowd. What does Valaran have in mind here, meanwhile, on the outside? Wrenching the arms of Candy. Trying to prepare Candy, perhaps, for another armbar attempt from Presrie, but the Ginger Flame still in control, back in the middle of the ring. Giant chop to the chest. Presrie is down, and over she goes. Presrie is stunned, and that giant roundhouse from Candy. And we have a lock in on submission maneuver from the Ginger Flame. Meanwhile, Candy working over Valaran. Is Presrie going to tap? Can she power through? She can. Presrie digs down, finds it deep. But Candy has locked in with Valaran. The amount of punishment these four are delivering to each other. The ref desperately trying to get out of the way. Another, that roundhouse kick we've seen so many times from Candy. Still not enough. She's decided she's going back for more. Boots to the gut, and down goes Valaran, going for the pinfall. Can the Ginger Flame intercept? 1, 2. No, not to her feet in time. Presrie able to break up the pinfall. Still, this match rolls on. Ginger Flame back. Ready, breaks up that pinfall before it can even get going. Candy, though, still down. Out of nowhere, Valaran tripping the Ginger Flame down to the mat. Ginger Flame, furious, having none of it, bounces Valaran off the ropes, strike, and there's Presrie taking advantage of the distraction opened up by her tag team partner. With the sheer power over, and look at that flying crossbody from Valaran, whilst Presrie suplexing the Ginger Flame in the middle of the ring. These two dividing and conquering right now. Armbar once again by Presrie D. Is this going to do it? Valaran locked up on the outside with Candy, and she has to tap. The Ginger Flame cannot take it. Those arms worked over too much. Presrie D and Valaran Amastacia with the victory. An incredibly hard-fought match. Nothing to be ashamed of there for Candy and the Ginger Flame. But with that, Valaran Amastacia and Presrie D both advance to the Drama Bomb ladder match. With that victory, they join Banshee, Lucette Forrester, and Mary. The field filling out in very, very interesting ways. How will their alliance play out in that match, which is one winner, one person takes all? Will we see the alliance continue between these two who grant each other opportunities, or is it going to be a complete free-for-all? What a performance by both of these teams. Absolutely incredible. But there is no time to rest, no breathing room here on All Influencer Wrestling, as right up next we have another qualifying match. Back to straight one-on-one action this time. The Phantom in action against the recently debuted Sevius Doom. One of those two will make it into the Drama Bomb match. We'll be right back. Suplex the train! Himbo power! Come on. Need to pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex... Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus. And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope. Can't suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I suplex Ultima Weapon? So we're going to start chucking some shuriken. I can suplex Ultima Weapon. Come on. We're so close. Lift. Come on, Sabin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power! We are back from break and back for another qualifying match. One-on-one action here in All Influencer Wrestling.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from wherever he wants, weighing in at 294 pounds, the Phantom.
Tall, dark, intimidating. The Phantom marching his way down to the ring. Not a lot of tape to study on his opponent. Sevius has only had one match here in AIW thus far, his debut match. How is Phantom going to prepare for a match against an opponent like Sevius? Of course, Sevius himself, not a huge amount of tape to study on the Phantom either. A definite size difference between the two, the significantly leaner build of Sevius. He's going to need to find some sort of strategy to take down a powerful opponent like the Phantom.
And his opponent from Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, weighing in at 200 pounds, the X Factor.
Sevius Doom. I promise you, it is not Halloween. We just have a very similar aesthetic between these two competitors. Battle of the Tatted Up Enigmas. And here we go. As I said, you can see that just sheer physique difference between these two. The lean, athletic Sevius versus the muscled powerhouse of the Phantom. Phantom very much in control out of the gate right now, working over the leg of Sevius. Boot to the chest, just powerful, powerful strikes. Sevius grappling up, able to get a shift in momentum, sends Phantom into the corner. and strike straight to the head of the Phantom there by Sevius. Tries to choke him out, dragging blow. And back to the well again, twice. Trying to bloody the nose of the Phantom. Hoists him back up to his feet. And up he goes. And Sevius, proving his strength is not to be underestimated, drops the Phantom over his knee. And again, still carrying him around, and down over the knee once again he goes. Drops over the wrist, picking apart the limbs of Sevius, the Phantom, excuse me. Elbow drop. And again, not letting up, keeping things going, and down he goes once again. Hauling himself up into the corner is the Phantom. Sevius waiting to pounce. Another strike to the back of the spine there. Sevius picking it apart and running kick directly to the face of the Phantom, working over the ankle now. Takes a moment to hype up, waiting for the Phantom to come back to his feet, but that may have well been a mistake by Sevius. Phantom simply able to overpower Sevius. Ref, get out of the way. You don't want to be there for that. Gives up, can't quite reach the turnbuckle, so just drops Sevius down to the canvas. Up and down, just lugging Sevius around like a sack of potatoes. Now, the Phantom's turn to bask in some glory, and Sevius punishing him for it. Into the ropes, and going interestingly there for the leg strike. Phantom not able to be knocked off balance, and once again back in control, and knee to the gut of Sevius. Roundhouse kick to the back of the head. And Phantom showing off his own athleticism. Sevius having none of it. Boot straight to the face. And into the side. Phantom not really picking a particular part, Sevius not picking over a particular part of Phantom to work on, just striking all the limbs really. And looked like he was trying to go for some sort of pile driver there, but bad idea. Phantom simply able to overpower and hurl Sevius over into the corner. And what does Phantom have in mind here? Up and down goes Sevius. One, is that going to do it? No, Sevius able to dig down deep. He kicks out at 2. Almost had it there, but Sevius still in it, rolls out of the way. Phantom not letting up. Trying to go for the miss there. Missed. Sevius able to duck under. Now vaults over Phantom, and down goes Phantom to the mat. Is this going to be a turn in momentum? Can Sevius capitalize? And just straight up punching Phantom in the jaw now. Phantom rolling to the outside. Sevius going up top. Is he going to follow through? Can he capitalize? He can. I think he did just get that, but did a decent amount of damage to himself. High risk. Seems like he did get the reward out of it, though. Spins around, kick to the spine of the Phantom, and again going back to the arm. Spreading out the damage. And continuing now to target the head with that knee drop. Back to the the arm again. Is he going to keep going, or is he going to haul the Phantom back into the ring? Phantom doesn't seem to know where he is at this point. Pulls him into the ship's decking. Sevius maybe going for a count-out victory. Or is he going to break? Nope. Yeah, he is going to just wait. I think he may well be. Nope, he is going to break the pinfall. Doesn't want to win like that. We've already seen one person advance to the Drama Bomb match that way. Lucette Forrester winning via count-out. Phantom, though, finding time to recover back into the ring with Sevius. Over the top rope with those long, long legs. Sevius now going, nope, back out to the outside. Playing games with Phantom, it seems now. Phantom seeing what he was up to. Strategy there by Phantom, ducking under the way of the grapple attempt and just sweeping the leg of Sevius Doom. And look at that giant kick by Phantom, sending Sevius down, but he's able to return counter kick of his own. Trading blows on the outside. Phantom getting the advantage. Knee to the chest repeatedly. Sevius able to reverse that attempt to go low there by the Phantom. Clubs to the head. Gut strike. And trying to just continually rain those blows down onto the Phantom. And back into the ring he goes. Sevius, is he going to break the ref's count again, or is he going to try and go for that count-out victory? The Phantom bouncing off of the railing there, looks stunned. 8 count. Sevius waiting out in the middle of the ring. There's the 9. Phantom just able to make back into the ring and breaks that ref's 10 count. And not happy about it. Another backwards kick for Phantom towards Sevius and draping knee strike. Phantom very much not happy about that attempt there by Sevius to win on a technicality. Up he goes, and another draping knee strike there to Sevius by the Phantom. Phantom seems furious at this point, just raining down those blows to Sevius. Again, right back to that same well, working over the head. These two taking a strip off of one another. Another those big, long, powerful strikes from Sevius. From the Phantom to Sevius. Going up top. We don't see this often from Phantom. And giant double foot stomp off the top rope. All of that weight crashing onto Sevius' ribcage. Somehow, Sevius still in this. This slugger of a match between these two, both monsters, sure to be a hot topic of discussion for quite some time to come. And down, hip check to Sevius. Phantom still in control, yelling to the crowd. Waiting, is he going to go? He is. Spider walking Phantom. He is digging into that creepy moveset reservoir he has. Stalking his way towards Sevius. Just waits. And good night, Doom. That has to be it. He's powered through multiple times. Is that going to be it? It is. The Phantom puts away Sevius Doom. Advancing to the Drama Bomb ladder match. That field looking very, very unpleasant if your name is Chris Cinneas. The men's Drama Bomb ladder match now, field being Chris Cinneas, the Golden Ticket, Big Magic Reynolds, Brock, and the Phantom. A daunting, terrifying clash of the kaiju. And then there's Cinneas. Of course, we still have more entrants to go in that match, one of which may well be the halfling Avric Brightmoon, which would certainly be an interesting addition to that match with the way that that particular field has started to shape up. Speaking, though, of filling out those ladder matches, we are back to triple threat action next. Swinging over to the other side of the roster, one of 3 women will be joining the victorious Banshee Lucette Forrester, Mary, and now Presrie D and Valaran. Will it be Llarona? Will it be Faria Ahmed? Or will it be Kyri? We'll find out after these short messages. We'll be right back. Get those heels going. Thank you, Steve. In Steve we trust. Steve protects us. Steve is the way. Steve is the light. All right. Oh, and we got a troll. That troll's naked as here, come on. Ah, almost made it back. Oh no, we got ambushed by brains. That's a mood. Oh, Ice Storm 16. Hey, Daspif. Oh, okay, so Daspif just healed Tiamat. Oh, sorry, Daspif just healed her. Sorry, Leon healed Tiamat. Daspif is great. Tell Sanya love. Sanya, Daspif loves you. Great if Steve could cure Ty before he takes another hit. Okay, well, technically that was what I said would be great. It's not exactly the path I intended to get there, but I suppose technically that's what I asked for. It would appear that he is, in fact, down here choking the serpent. My chair was stolen while I was gone. And now this one is here. Very upset about the fact that I removed him from said chair. And we are encountering the bane of every TTRPG party, a mimic door. Oh, that's awful though. And Sid's getting stoned, and not in a fun way. Trees in the forest are alive. They can understand human speech and can read minds. The trees are alive, and they say, F you. Slept like a top. You know, I know that's not how that line is meant to be read, but I also don't understand how it makes sense any other way either. Oh, balls, it's a monster in a box. Okay. Oh, steal the spectacles. I'm getting so many silver spectacles. Stop stealing my gil, you bastard. That's the question is, can I kill this before that doom counter on terror expires? The answer appears to be no. The answer appears to be yes. So it can bounce off and zap you. Oh, and you just did banish again. Oh, cool. The entire party got banished. Well, that didn't get off to a great start. Alright. Is this a switch? Yep. There we go. Oh, wait, look at that. I stepped on the switch, and it revealed a new hole. I think we go back up to... I see a hole I haven't tried yet. Welcome back to Triple Threat Action. One of these three women will make their way to the Drama Bomb ladder match.
Threat match! Making her way to the ring from San Salvador, El Salvador,
Llarona. Tall enough to damn near pluck the case down without even needing a ladder. Of course, the filling out of the field for this side of the roster has not been without controversy. We have definitely confirmed that it was somebody within the arena who last week cast a hold person spell upon Battlestar Galactica in the middle of their match, preventing them from being able to participate and potentially costing them a shot at victory. Investigation is still ongoing as to who precisely that could have been. We only have so many spellcasters on the roster. Though of course it is always possible somebody could have hired outside help to do so.
and her opponents. First, from Mumbai, India, the specialist,
Faria Ahmed, not having the greatest track record here in AIW, did well with the $1 Shillion tournament, but got knocked out of that by the eventual victor, Jennifer Storio. An incredibly nimble and athletic competitor, Faria well suited to the environment of a ladder match. First, she has to knock off one of her two opponents with either a pinfall or submission to get a shot at that opportunity.
and from overseas, the Princess.
Making her way down to the ring, Kyri, an information broker I have wound up in debt to myself more than once. Definitely a legitimate businesswoman. I would never ever besmirch her and say otherwise. From a different school of magic perhaps, but a accomplished red mage, also a potential suspect in the investigation as to who interfered with Battlestar's match. Not high up the suspect list, given that those two have yet to interact. But could somebody have potentially paid off Kyri? Who has a vendetta against Battlestar? We will find that out later. That is a question for another time. Right now, the one question we need to answer is which of these three women is advancing to the Drama Bomb ladder match. Right now, it looks like it might be Kyri. Who is impressively dominant out of the gate, sending Llarona to the outside, planting Faria down onto the mat. This is a dominance we have not seen yet from Kyri. But Llarona on the outside, remember, these triple threats are weapons legal. Llarona not here to play. She is just waiting for her opportunity to strike. following Kyri over to the turnbuckle, and there it goes. Good night, Kyri. A baseball bat straight to the head while she was distracted climbing up there. Kyri, though, says, come at me. Look at that, baited Llarona to come for her, teased the bat out of her grasp and reversed it. Faria, though, seeing her opportunity to strike, takes Kyri down, knocks her up against the ring side there. And a team-up briefly between Llarona and Kyri, sending Faria planted straight down into that wooden ship's decking. And there's Kyri capitalizing on a missed attack by Llarona, back with that baseball bat. And crack straight to the head. Now that is what I call a Kraken club. There is a counter, though, double leg drop to the face of Kyri by Faria, sent back into the ring by Llarona, following suit by Kyri. Catching the ref there, seemingly willing to admit that that was an accidental strike there. The ref not kicking Kyri out of this match for that blow against him, but did allow a moment of confusion for Faria to start going on a tear, knocking Llarona down. And there's Kyri bouncing off of the ropes, strike knocking down Faria, but the leg reach of Llarona working in her favor. Gut strike deep into Kyri, punishing her. Faria, though, able to turn Llaroona's momentum against her. And now, and we've seen this from Faria before, she gets cocky, and that costs her. And it just did here again. Up we go, and down, dropped straight onto the neck. But Llarona right there with that baseball bat, boot, breaking up that pinfall. Kyri able to fight out, though. Go to sleep, Llarona. Not willing to underestimate the opponent, though. They're back with that baseball bat, cracking into the ribs, but there's Faria. Can Faria now capitalize? That was an enormous amount of damage just done by Kyri. Is this now going to be an opportunity for Faria to capitalize? Over she goes, and down, head scissors take down to Kyri, but Llarona is back. Strikes to the face of Faria Ahmed. And there's Kyri, though, from behind, takes down Faria, going right back once again for that baseball bat. Dodged out of the way, playing possum. That may have been quite an erroneous maneuver for Kyri, who's now just being lugged around over the shoulders of this giantess. Takes down Faria, giant running clothesline. Strikes to those legs, and down she goes. But Faria has returned to break up the pinfall. Didn't even get time for a 1 count thanks to Faria interfering. And down she goes, neck breaker by Faria. But there we go once again. She's got a moment of momentum, and she takes the opportunity to pander to the crowd. That's given Kyri that moment on the outside to recover. At this point, the biggest danger that Faria has to her success in all-influencer wrestling really has been herself. Swinging DDT off the top rope by Kyri, going once again for that baseball bat. Cracking it over the shoulders of Faria. Llarona, big swinging back elbow to Kyri. Trapped between the two now is our Mithran princess. Big drop kick by Faria, not enough to take Llarona off her feet. Kyri once again putting a great deal of stock in that baseball bat, and it does seem to be working for her. Into the spine Now that's how you make her a real weeping woman. And there we go. Faria able to counter. Is she going to capitalize? But no, she's doing it once again. Takes that moment to pose. Was at least able to avoid that attempt at a leg sweep by Kyri. Over the rope she goes, and boom, down, landing on the baseball bat. Has that been enough to take out Kyri? But Llarona making her way back into the ring, able to break up the pinfall. And there once again those knee strikes by Llarona, and Kyri able to capitalize. This is what she does, waits for a moment, and up over the top ropes. She can barely hold on, but she does. Faria taking a moment to recover. May have been a terrible error on her part. 1, 2, has Kyri done it? Kyri has done it! Kyri with the pinfall over Llarona. What a victory for Kyri! You have to give a certain amount of credit, though, to Faria for undermining herself in that match, failing to capitalize because she is too busy pandering to the crowd. That is not something that Ahmed is going to be happy with. But that is what we have seen from Kyri. It's an ability I have been bitten by multiple times in the past myself. She watches, she identifies a weakness, and she will strike and take full advantage. Something which is going to serve her very, very well in that ladder match where weapons will also be legal. Will she be back to that baseball bat once again? Another entry into the field. It continues to fill out as by the end of the night we will know all of the competitors in both of these matches. Another to be determined in our next matchup, which we will be right back for in just a moment. Be right back.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre. Welcome back to more one-on-one action. One of these two women will be advancing into the Drama Bomb ladder match.
The following is scheduled for one fall, making her way to the ring from Brooklyn, New York, the Total Package, Amber Warren.
Amber marching her way down to the ring, proving that she has a warranted reason to be in that ladder match. To get there, she is going to have to go through our newest clout chaser.
And from Chicago, Illinois, the Wolf.
It's Chicago versus Brooklyn. Amber versus Fenris. Came out strong in her debut last week. The Dark Wolf, Fenris, looking to immediately make her way within grasping range of glory here in AIW. Neither of these two familiar with each other, both with everything to fight for. In her debut match, Fenris put away Kyri. Will she be joining her vanquished opponent in the match, or is Amber going to charge through and get finally a long overdue shift in her fortunes here in AIW? Not at the rate this match is going. Fenris completely dominant out of the gate. Just decks Amber Warren down. Amber able to reverse that though, and over to the top rope, and big swinging clothesline off of the rope there to Fenris. Up she goes. What does Amber have in mind here? And I thought it was going for a neck breaker, but no. Spins around and just elbow to the back of the neck of Fenris. And down she goes. The power game by Amber Warren here, immediately going for the pinfall, trying to go for that one count very early on. A strategy that can very much knock your opponent off of their game. Sending Fenris into the ropes and grabbing down, sending her down through and choked slam down to the mat. takes a moment to taunt Fenris. Ties her up over in the ropes. And sends her whipping over, and big boot by Amber there. Taking a moment to roll to the outside. Impressive awareness there by Amber, realizing that Fenris, I think, was planning to take a moment to run to the outside to recover herself. Amber breaking her way out through the other side of the ring and running right around to ambush. And another slam, this time down onto the wood at the side of the ring. Amber is fired up in this match. Hoists Fenris up and slam, this time on the front down, just working over the body of the Dark Wolf. And big clubbing strike to the chest of Fenris. This is not a wrestling match on behalf of Amber at this point. This is just straight up a mugging. Someone needs to tell Amber, this is wrestling, this is not UFC. I don't think she cares. Fenris back to her feet. That taunt just baiting Fenris in to advance. Amber taking advantage with that quick flash of momentum there. Continuing to work over our newest arrival and stomp onto the arm. Giant blows to the chest, a back elbow damn near knocking Fenris out. Up and down she goes. Amber, kip up. Is that going to be enough? Is that going to put away? No, she is still not going back for a pinfall. She is not done with Fenris as of yet. Up she goes. Fenris, though, maybe she should have tried to finish it there and then. Fenris able to wriggle out of that maneuver. Amber not giving a moment to allow Fenris to try and get the shift in the way this match has been going. Amber going up top. What does she have in mind from up there? Big frog splash down to Fenris. Is that going to do it? 1, 2. No, Fenris not willing to go out like that. She's struggling, but she's still there. Kicks back. Amber finally down onto her back. Can Fenris capitalize? She desperately needs to get the momentum shifted in her favor, and that will do it. Look at the power of Fenris. My God. Just wrenching the back of Amber. And down she goes. Amber able to hip toss Fenris, though, over. That may have been the only flurry of offense Fenris is going to get if Amber has anything to do about it. Tying her up in the ropes. What does Amber have in mind? Just sends Fenris over the top and spear through the rope, sending Fenris crashing down to the outside. Amber saying, look at me, look at what you have been underestimating. This is the mistake you have all been making. Fenris able to reverse that strike. Sends Amber back into the ring. Fenris, though, has taken such a great deal of punishment in this match. She can't be moving as quickly as she would like. Amber, meanwhile, just a boundless font of energy, it seems. Over she goes and missed. Fenris so dazed, she was moving so erratically. That strike off the top didn't connect the way Amber wanted it to. Fenris now able to duck out of the way. Up and drop down onto Amber. Can Fenris keep this going? Sends it into that corner turnbuckle. Big running clothesline into the corner from Fenris. Can she keep this up? Strike taking out the ankle of Amber Warren. Another big blow to the face. What she got up it, up and down she goes. Slams Amber into the mat. Amber not looking great. Stunned, staring up at the lights. Is that going to do it? It might be. No, Amber able to kick out. You do not need an Inquisition to see that the Dark Wolf cannot believe that that didn't put her away. Wrenching the neck now. Fenris trying to slow this match down to break that rapid momentum of Amber Warren. Wrenching now the arm. Fenris trying to work over those limbs, those extremities of Amber, trying to deal some degree of damage to her opponent to make this match a little more evened out. I think she's going for it again. There it goes down 2, and she's pulled through. She's got that pin in deep. 1, 2. Is that going to do it? I think it might be. That has done it. Pulls the victory out of nowhere. After being so badly worked over by Amber for the vast majority of that match, somehow, somewhere, Fenris is able to pull out a victory. This is a competitor that you are going to have to watch like a hawk.
Here is your winner.
With that, Fenris claims her place in that ladder match. The field continues to fill out. We have 2 more slots in one match, 1 more in the other. Our next match will determine one of those 2 in the men's match. It is going to reveal a potentially very interesting size disparity against those competitors. Avric Brightmoon takes on Hank of the Deadly Doo-Woo. We will be right back after these messages. Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Limsa and the Clout Missioner of all influencer wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats, and sometimes even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind: tinyhatlabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? tinyhatlabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and tinyhatlabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. Okay, I just murdered Vegeta with a truck. What the hell is this game? And she came down the stairs, breast in boobily.
I wasn't ready. Woo, that was good.
Nope. I looked at the map, went, where's the boss? Oh, it's that way, and immediately went in the wrong direction. If that is not a perfect example of my sense of direction, I don't know what is. You're the new farmer. I see. No offense, but you look like you've never held a tool in your life. Excuse me, Jim. I am well adept at holding my tool. Thank you very much.
The Flow Guardian, not me.
The God Emperor made me do it!
The God Emperor made me do it. Yes. Oh, can I get away with yelling that in real life, please? Welcome back to another one-on-one bout for one of the last available slots in our Drama Bomb ladder
The
match.
following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring, representing Team Bring It. weighing in at 169 pounds, Rage.
Avric Brightmoon making his way down to the ring solo. Avric and Ashapal did support Tiff in his failed attempt to make his way into the ladder match. Tiff and Asha not able to accompany Avric tonight, as Asha is in action next to try and claim her spot in the ladder match as well. You talk about a difference in style.
And his opponent, accompanied by beautiful Bob from Nevada, weighing in at 222 pounds, Hank Handsome.
Bob unable to score a victory in his match earlier, so he is back out to support his tag team partner Hank. How will Bob's support work for Hank in his match against Avric, who is out solo in an unusual situation for him? Beautiful Bob and handsome Hank facing down across the ring of a grotty little rage-fueled aggressive gremlin in the form of Avric Brightmoon. And that is the aggression I'm talking about. Immediately out of the gate, Avric just charging across the ring to take down Hank. Avric wasting absolutely no time. Club to the face, and again, Hank desperately trying to hang on. Oh, what does Avric have in mind here? This is going to be painful. Onto the hardest part of the ring. Down goes handsome Hank, who may wind up after that with a not-so-handsome hernia. Up he goes. Up to the top. Goes for a flying elbow drop. Hank able to get out of the way. Drops Avric down to the mat with that DDT. This is a desperately needed momentum shift for Hank, just booting Avric across the ring. Very impressive athleticism from Hank, completely shifting the dynamic of this match, working over the arm of Avric. Avric, though, able to duck out of the way. Goes for clothesline. Hank able to reverse it into a big swinging DDT. Only one down, though, for Avric. It's going to take a lot more than that to keep him down. Hank impressively able to nail a net breaker on Avric, given their size disparity, but still able to make it work. And down to the mat once again goes Avric. Starting to continue focal work on that left arm there by Hank. Strike right to the face of Brightmoon. And down he goes. Hank proving they may be flamboyant, they may be colourful, they may be models, but these two should not be underestimated. Avric swinging down, knocking out Hank's leg from under him. And wrenching it off. And now back in the other direction. Drop kick to the back of the head by Avric, followed by a stomp. Avric now very much back in control, trying to slow this match back down, wrenching the neck of Hank, trying to bring this back down to his pace. Avric can move quickly when he needs to, but tends to prefer things slow, methodical, and planned. Waiting, and giant explosive spear out of the corner there from Avric. Takes a moment to celebrate, goes for the pinfall. 1, 2. Not going to do it. Hank able to power out at 2. Hank able to duck out of the way of that maneuver by Avric and punishing him for it. Locks up. And oh my god, impressive athleticism there by Hank. Is that going to be enough to keep Avric down? 1, 2. No, Avric just shoving Hank off. He is very much still in this match. Up he goes once again, though, into the grasp of Hank. Sends Avric over into the corner. Slowly working his way over. What does Hank have in mind here? Hoisting him up to the top. Boot to the face for his trouble. Avric getting right back down. Strike to the face. Kick to the gut. Reversal after reversal from these two. Hank able to lock in that spinning head scissors. Sends Avric crashing down to the mat. Hoists him back up. And slam down once again. He's got that in deep. That might be it for Avric. 1, 2. I think it might be. No. Oh, barely. 2.5. Avric somehow able to dig deep, find that second wind, and hang on into this match. Able to counter that attempt at barraging him off the side of the ring. Avric now back in control. Furious. He knows how close he just came to losing this match. Both of them trying diving attacks, neither able to find purchase. Hank up and over goes Brightmoon, going back once again to the pinfall, keeping up the pressure. 1, 2, that's done it. That has done it. Avric coming up short. 1/2 of the the deadly doo-woo, advancing to the Drama Bomb ladder match. Handsome Hank representing the team in that match. Bob there celebrating in the ring with his partner. They definitely would have had the strategy of trying to get both of them in there to run roughshod over the rest of the field, but with one of them in, will 1/2 of the deadly doo-woo carry the Drama Bomb? If there's anyone who knows about Drama Bombs, it's male models. With that, we have 2 matches left on tonight's card, both one-on-one matches. First up, the final entry will be determined in one of our 2 matches. We will be right back with further action as Ashapal takes on Calypso Dominguez. We'll be right back after these short messages. Suplex the train! Himbo power! Come on. Pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus. And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope. Can't suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I suplex Ultima Weapon? Shuriken. I can suplex Ultima Weapon. Come on, we're so close. Lift, come on, Sabin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power! Welcome back for more one-on-one action as Ashapal, accompanied by Tiff, makes her way down to the ring. Tiff and Avric both have failed to enter these matches. Will Asha have better luck?
From parts unknown, the Warrior Princess.
These two backstage just watched their childhood friend lose his match. What has that done to the mindset of Asha going into this? Of course, she's not the only one impacted. Calypso last week saw her sister Teresa fail to advance into the match. Calypso here fighting for family pride as well as her own glory.
Representing the Dangerous Alliance from Harlem, New York, the Banshee, Dominguez.
We have yet to see Calypso in singles action. Calypso in a lot of their tag action has seemingly almost taken a bit of a back seat and let Teresa do a significant amount of the heavy lifting. So without her sister in the ring with her, how is Calypso going to do? And here we go, Calypso coming right, charging out of the gate with that massive swinging DDT, sending Asha down to the mat straight away. And continuing the pressure with a neckbreaker, Calypso determined to not give Asha a moment to get into this match, but a strategic fighter like Asha takes a lot more than that, able to get that leg sweep. Asha now back in control, double leg drop. And down, driving the knee of Calypso into the mat. Tiff there strategizing, cheering Asha on from the outside. Although knowing Tiff, the strategy from him is going to be much more the likes of just hit her really hard. What does Asha have in mind here? Up, and it's going for the big swing. Around, Calypso goes over, clear across the other side of the ring. Not only an impressive amount of strength from Asha to pull that off, but that's going to lead to some serious discombobulation for Calypso. Not really knowing where she is right now. And Asha absolutely capitalizing. Is she going to go for another? I think she might. Another big swing, trying to destroy the sense of balance for Calypso. And dropping that giant knee into the face. What does Asha have in mind? running around, sees Teresa there waiting, thinks better of it. And finally settling on she does want to remain outside. Club over to the back of Calypso Dominguez, followed by a back arm strike. And now it's Asha's turn to hype up the crowd. Sends Calypso into the barricade, but Calypso able to duck out. Now tried with that giant double leg drop kick, but didn't even phase Ashapal. Not able to get this giant half-orc off her feet. Sending Calypso over, realizing the ref's count is going. Ref is up to an 8 count. Is Asha going to be happy with a count-out victory? I think she might. Can Calypso get back to her feet in time? Ref's count has reached a 9. Asha waiting in the ring. She's good for that count-out victory. Barely. Calypso barely breaks that 10 count. Just able to get back into the ring in time, into a waiting, running clothesline from Asha. Is that going to do it? No. Calypso able to kick out. What does Asha have in mind? Just waiting, begging Calypso to get back to her feet. Calypso more than happy to oblige. Tried to lock up, simply out-muscled by Ashapal. And just shoving Calypso down into the corner and driving from the back of the head into the turnbuckle. And knee strike. Calypso getting absolutely worked over by Asha right now. Up and down she goes. Pedigree from Ashapal. Can Calypso survive that? 1, 2, I think that might have done it. An incredibly dominant performance there by Ashapal. Puts away Calypso. Calypso seemingly struggling in the ring without Teresa there with her. Asha with Tip cheering on really controlled the pace of that match at the end and able to get that victory. Asha moves on and will be joining the Drama Bomb ladder match. Another very, very tall competitor entering into that field. And with that, we have the full range of one of our 2 ladder matches for when that is ready to go. On one side of the roster, we have Banshee, Lucette Foster, Presrie D, Valaran Amastacia, Kyri, Fenris, Ashapal, and Mary. 8 competitors entering that match, only one of them able to claim the Drama Bomb case. We have 1 slot left, 1 match left, and it's going to be a doozy. The Witch Hunter, Gabriel Van Hessle, faces a freshly returned Stephenjoys. We will be right back with that, our main event, after these short messages. Hi, I'm Captain Tyriant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Minster, and the Clout Missioner of all influencer wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats, and sometimes even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind: tinyhatlabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? tinyhatlabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Tyrion Guidell, and tinyhatlabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. We are back. We have not seen this entrance in some time.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall. Making his way to the ring, accompanied by the captain from Edinburgh, Scotland, weighing in at 158 pounds, Stephenjoys.
The AIW universe bouncing along, damn near shaking the ship with the returning Stephenjoys entrance. He is flanked by Chris Cinneas, who has been on a tear of violence against the group who was responsible for the injuries that has kept Stephen out of competition for this long. Of course, Gabriel Van Hessle will not be without an individual in his corner as well. As we slow things right back down with the ominous orchestral arrival of the Witch Hunter. You see there the man who pointed Van Hessle at Chris Cinneas in the first place, Steve Sparks. Sparks, seemingly having found another individual to use in his own machinations. We know Sparks has been deep in the head of Brock, who qualified for this ladder match earlier on tonight. Sparks unable to get a victory over Cinneas to win his place in the ladder match. If he can send Van Hessle in, will that represent two agents of Sparks chasing after the drama bomb? Or will Stephenjoys come dominant in his first match back after Clash for Charity? Much as with Van Hessle's first opponent, Big Magic Reynolds, both Stephenjoys and Cinneas have many friends who fall into the witchy category. So putting away an opponent like Van Hessle is very much also sending a message to defend their friends. Alright, brief moment of technical difficulties there. We do apologize, but we are back. We are in, and this match is underway. And Van Hessle planting Stephen into the mat. Chop chop, and he is out to go. Van Hessle did manage to put away Chris Cinneas in their match last time. Out to continue his dominance, this time absolutely working over Stephenjoys. Working the arm. Cinneas there, shaking out his own arm. Just feeling of that. Van Hessle, very strong out of the gate. And just punching straight into the face of Stephenjoys. This is not the return that Stephen must have been hoping for. Cinneas, I think they're briefly considering getting involved, but realizing if he interferes and attacks Van Hessle, that will result in a disqualification. And up and down, giant drop kick to the face of Stephen by Van Hessle. Stephen punching to the gut, finally able to break Van Hessle's grasp. Not for long though, Van Hessle just overpowering Stephen. Sends him down to the mat, stomp to the back of the neck, and Stephen able to dodge out of the way. That's going to be felt right up through Van Hessle's tailbone. And there we go. Stephen driving Van Hessle down into those knees, working over the leg now. Can he get into this match at last? He's saying, get up. He's the crowd getting onto his side. And neckbreaker from Stephen sends Van Hessle. Cinneas fired up on the outside. This is the comeback that we needed to see from Stephen. Drives Van Hessle back down to the match once again. Fails to escape and continuing to work over the lower body of the Witch Hunter. And we've seen this before. There we go, that big swinging takedown that Stephen is so well known for. Van Hessle, though, continues the momentum and uses it to get himself back to his feet. Up to the top. What does Stephen have in mind here? And Van Hessle able to power out of that maneuver, just sends Stephen flying. Two very evenly matched opponents, it seems. And strike across the back of the neck and then to the chest. Van Hessle now back in control. Working the arm of Stephenjoys over. And again, just clubbing heavy punches straight to the face of the Screamer. One. Stephen, though, kicks out right at one. Gonna take a lot more than that to keep him down. And chokehold locked in by Van Hessle, and he's got that knockdown. It's in deep, trying to cut off the airflow of Stephenjoys. Can he power out? He does. He's able to get those elbow strikes into the ribs, work through, and he's put that into a pinning predicament. Van Hessle, shoulders down on the mat, able to come out at one, but what a reversal there by Stephen. Runs through two running clotheslines, catches a boot by Van Hessle, sweeps the leg. He is down. Still continuing to try and work over the lower body of the Witch Hunter. Missed that grapple attempt. Van Hessle now returning with some strikes of his own. The two just kind of dancing back and forth. Takedown by Van Hessle. Stephen back down onto the mat. Rolling back outside where the defensive Chris Cinneas is waiting for him. Cinneas can't control himself, just waiting, desperately wanting to get involved in this fight, but knowing if he lays hands on Van Hessle, it's going to cost Stephen the opportunity. What does Van Hessle have in mind here? This could be very, very bad. Up he goes and powerbomb off onto the ship's siding there. The spine of Stephen bouncing off of the ship's siding as Van Hessle works over the arm. sending Stephen back into the ring to break the ref's count out. Stephen back up, gave him the opportunity to recover, dodges around and DDT down there. Van Hessle sending Stephen back to the... What is going on the outside of the ring? Cinneas and Sparks getting into it now. And Cinneas, the ref has had enough of Cinneas almost getting involved. He is out of here, and Sparks too. Sparks is out of here as well. The ref says no. Cinneas and Sparks both ejected from the arena. Neither man now with anyone left in their corner. It is only Van Hessle and Stephen left in this match. Stephen taking the opportunity for that distraction to capitalize. He's got... And slam. Stephen lands the hat slam on Van Hessle. 1, 2. Is that going to do it? No. Van Hessle powers out. The hat slam not enough to put away the Witch Hunter. A Valaran effort by Stephenjoys, but not enough to get the Witch Hunter down for the 3 count. So he tried to go for another. I think Van Hessle returned and slammed Stephen down to the mat. Is that going to be enough to keep Stephen down? 2. Stephen barely powers out at 2. The Witch Hunter cannot believe it. Stephen taking an impressive amount of punishment, still ongoing. Up and down goes to the... Down there. Vatican slam by Van Hessle. That may well have done it, and it did. Gabriel Van Hessle puts away the returning Stephenjoys. The hat slam, not enough. Van Hessle, Vatican slam, able to put away Stephen. The Witch Hunter
Here is your winner, the Witch
joining
Hunter.
the Drama Bomb ladder match. Shocking victory by Gabriel Van Hessle. But with that, both ladder matches have been fully determined. Gabriel Van Hessle joins Brock, the Golden Ticket, Big Magic Reynolds, the Phantom, Handsome Hank, and Chris Cinneas. Meanwhile, Banshee, Lucette Forrester, Presrie D, Valaran Amastacia, Kyri, Fenris, Ashapal, and Mary will all be facing off. 2 Drama Bomb briefcases. 2 victors. And of course, there are going to be more matches on that card. We need to determine competitors for both Abel, Therron, and Glix, as well as another competitor for Jennifer Storio's $1 billion championship. All 3 will be on the line at the Drama Bomb Premium Live event. And of course, we still have to determine who was responsible for the actions taken against Battlestar Galactica. This and more to be determined next week on another thrilling installment of All Influencer Wrestling. I have been your Clout Missioner, Captain Tyrion's Guide Al, and as always, remember to stay #out for Clout. We'll see you next week.